It's Friday, September 5th, 2025. Welcome to episode 170 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Bueller. In this edition of the Postcast, APD busts a gambling ring. Books Inc. gets a new owner. The Central Avenue mobile saga continues. A new occupant for an old building, the latest real estate sales. The food bank could use a hand. From the Bard to baseball to the Big Top to barbecue, a bounty of activities to choose from, and a huge thank you from all of us at the Post. These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story, as initially reported on the department's Facebook page, on Tuesday, Alameda police busted an illegal gambling den on the 600 block of Haight Avenue. After receiving reports of possible illegal gambling activity at the address and conducting a detailed investigation, APD officers executed a search warrant at the residence where they found slot machines, table games, firearms, ammunition, cash, and drug paraphernalia. KRON Channel 4 reported that 2 arrests were made and that the case is now in the hands of the district attorney. Speaking with Channel 4, APD Chief Nishant Joshi indicated that the initial leads in the case came from concerned community members and that the gambling operation had only been in place for, quote, no more than a couple of months, end quote. We'll have more details as the story develops later at alamedapost.com/news. As reported back in episode 138 in January, 174-year-old local bookstore chain Books Inc. filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, closing their Berkeley store in February. At the time, CEO Andy Perham said, quote, Books Inc. is not going away. Our board, investors, senior managers, and key partners agree that reorganizing with the tools afforded us by Chapter 11 is the fastest path forward toward putting our company on a smaller, financially stronger platform from which we can continue our long legacy of serving California readers, end quote. Well, it appears they've found a way forward, but I don't know if smaller was part of the equation. Barnes & Noble is purchasing the chain. As the announcement was made, Perham said that the sale to Barnes & Noble, quote, will ensure that Books Inc.'s legacy will continue for the foreseeable future. With Barnes & Noble's deep resources and world-class support, Books Inc. will be able to quickly modernize its operations so we can focus on what we do best, connecting people with books, ideas, and each other, end quote. Barnes & Noble has been a success story recently, opening 57 stores in 2024 with plans for 60 this year. At the center of the growth is CEO James Daunt, a British businessman who took the reins when hedge fund Elliott Management Corp bought Barnes & Noble in August 2019 and took the company private. This is Barnes & Noble's second acquisition after Tattered Cover Books in Denver last July. Tattered Cover continues to operate as a separate entity, which seems to be in keeping with Daunt's management philosophy of staffing stores with full-time, knowledgeable employees who are in tune with community tastes. For a look at how Barnes & Noble has rebounded, head to the website modernretail.co and look for the article entitled How Barnes & Noble is Writing Its Own Success Story in the Age of Amazon. For more details on the sale of Books Inc., head to alamedapost.com/news. The City Council was back to business Tuesday. As previewed in last week's episode, one of the main items on the agenda was the ongoing case of the Central Avenue mobile station. To review, on June 9th, as reported in episode 158, the Planning Board approved a use permit amendment extending the hours of the station at 1310 Central Avenue. On June 17th, Alameda resident Leland Price filed an appeal, so on Tuesday, City Council took up the matter. The current gas station hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday 9 to 4, closed on Sunday. The request was for hours of 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. during the week, with weekends 7 to 8 on both days. In the end, the earlier weekday opening time of 6 a.m. was passed, but close of business remains at 8 p.m. The weekend hours of 7 to 8 were also approved. Additionally, the station may now sell snacks and beverages, but no alcohol or tobacco. There will be no change in the operating hours of Central Auto Service, the car repair shop that shares the building. Ken Durr covered the meeting. Look for his full report on the entire council agenda coming next week at alamedapost.com/news. As I've mentioned a few times here on the Postcast, I've spent a bit of time in theater, both as an educator and community theater director. I've always known that theatrical skills translate rather well to real life. I have a good friend who's a lawyer and community theater actor who has admitted to winning cases largely due to presentation skills that were superior to opposing counsel. Now, a new business is opening in Alameda that looks to tap into the power of performance, notably that of improvisation. Improv Central will open its doors at 500 Central Avenue on Friday, September 12th. That's the historic building formerly the South Pacific Coast Railroad's 5th Street Station. With support from the City of Alameda's Facade Grant Program, Improv Central has upgraded that building and breathed new life into that long vacant storefront. Founder Claire Slattery graduated from Alameda High School, studied drama and communication at Stanford, then worked as a professional actor, improviser, and teaching artist. In her career, she shifted her focus from performing to presentation coaching and facilitating, contracting with Google to train individuals and teams. Improv Central's grand opening is Friday, September 12th at 5:30. There will be refreshments and a preview of how the techniques of improv can help your relationships from family to business. Details and a link to RSVP for the free festivities at alamedapost.com/arts. By the way, if you'd like a preview of how improv can help you in everyday life, if you subscribe to Masterclass, check out Amy Poehler's offering Prepare to be Unprepared. While we're on the subject of real estate changing hands, Liz Rush has her bi-weekly look at home sales in Alameda. From August 19th until September 1st, 19 homes sold, 14 on Alameda proper, 5 on Bay Farm Island. Prices range from $575,000 to $1,750,000. 11 properties sold for above asking, 2 at list price, 3 below, although I do have to chuckle since one of those below asking sales was offered at $1,245,790 and sold for $1,245,789. And while this may be an anomaly with this particular group of homes, the average time on market jumped noticeably from around 4 weeks to just under 40 days. Liz has dug a little deeper. Currently 106 residential properties for sale in Alameda, with 15 coming soon. There are 39 properties marked as pending. Liz notes that homes that aren't move-in ready are lingering on the market a bit, some offerings being pulled. Liz has the full story, plus a link to her full August market report at alamedapost.com/real-estate. If you've got some extra time and would like to help a great cause, the Alameda Food Bank could use a hand. In a recent Facebook post, the Food Bank noted that with September being Food Action Month, it's a perfect time to join in. Volunteers must be at least 16 years old. Shifts last 2 to 3 hours, and please wear closed-toed shoes. After all, it is a warehouse environment. Specifically, your help is needed today, Friday, from 2:40 until 5, and next Friday, either from 11:30 to 2:45 or 2:30 until 5 p.m. Details and a link to sign up on the Food Bank's Facebook page, or head directly to alamedafoodbank.org/volunteer. Speaking of the Food Bank Players back on stage starting this weekend with their production of Hamlet. It runs Saturdays and Sundays at the Healing Garden for the next 3 weekends. Admission is free, but all donations benefit the Food Bank. In case you're wondering, the presentation is an edited version running around 2.5 hours, including intermission, so no need to plan on the full 4 hours. Show schedule on our events page at 94501.info. To be or not to be a fan. If you're a Bay Area baseball fan, especially if you rooted for the A's, you might still be feeling the sting. But just across the water, Alamedans are experiencing everything that's right with the national pastime. The Oakland Ballers of the Pacific League play at Raimondi Park, and this year they set the league record for single-season wins. As of August 31st, they've sported a sparkling .767 winning percentage, the best in all of professional baseball. One of the fan-friendliest environments I've ever been to, and the Ballers' mascot, Scrappy the Rally Possum, has to be the most delightfully passive-aggressive mascot in the history of sports. Liz Barrett explores the love affair that's risen up between the Ballers and Alameda, with the island providing not just fans and season ticket holders, but owners as well. Check out her examination of what makes the playoff-bound Ballers such a draw at alamedapost.com/sports. If you've wondered what's up with the circus tent at Radium Runway, that would be, well, the circus. Specifically, the Soiled Dove Circus, running tonight, Friday, through November 1st. One of the performers at the circus, the legendary Joan Baez. Details and ticket link at 94501.info. Please note, this is a 21 and over only production. An old favorite returns to Alameda. Mark your calendars. Blues, Brews, and Barbecue at Washington Park, Sunday, September 21st from noon until 6. Need to take a moment to say a major thank you to you, the supporters of the Alameda Post. Earlier this summer, as noted by our publisher Adam Gillett, things looked a little shaky for us. As a 501c3 nonprofit, we rely on a mix of donations, grants, and other funding sources. With grant money becoming scarcer, we needed the community to step up, and boy, did you ever. Sparked by a $50,000 matching challenge grant from Penumbra, hundreds of donations streamed in, advertisers responded, and we made it. In a span of 2 months, we brought in over $110,000. Adam has taken a few moments to express his gratitude, and I know he speaks for all of us at the Post when he says a very sincere thank you for your support. Find Adam's thoughts at alamedapost.com/op-ed. While you're there, be sure to check out the latest from the gang at Two Birds from Alameda. I believe Brees managed to hit the Peeler trifecta: beer, dogs, and cartoon characters. Well done, sir. You can find us on all the usual social media outlets, and you can find the Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or just ask your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. I'm Scott Peeler. I'll be back next Friday with episode 171 of the Alameda Postcast.